Have you ever wondered what the perfect Dappen dish is for your acrylic monomer? Let's get into it. Number one, you definitely want to use a Dappen dish for your acrylic that is heavy and stable. One of the best Dappen dishes would be glass. Glass is heavy and stable. It's not easy to knock over, so that's a big deal. You can choose that because it's not porous, and also it will help to keep from wasting your product and your money. It's easy to clean, stain resistant, and it keeps your monomer temperature consistent. Have you ever had a situation where you put monomer in a Dappen dish and all of a sudden you go back and there is none, or there's very little? It's due to evaporation and probably your Dappen dish. Let's get into it. So, with this Dappen dish, it is glass, so it's perfect, but the size of it is way too wide of a neck. So this one would not be a great one. And it also does not have a lid. The reason you want a lid is because while working on your acrylic full set, you do not want your product, meaning your polymer or your powder, same thing, to get into your Dappen dish and begin to cure and crystallize at the bottom of your monomer. It will then affect the consistency of your monomer, and also the curing will happen so fast that as you're working with your customer to create those beautiful nails, you'll find yourself having to work faster to prevent the product from being cured too quickly. What this does is it makes it difficult to be able to move the product around. Okay? Have you ever been using your monomer and your polymer and you realize that for some reason you're having a very difficult time moving the product around? Now, that's not always caused by what type of Dappen dish you have, or even the fact that maybe you have some powder in your liquid monomer. But it could still be due to the powder and the liquid being mixed within your Dappen dish, and it's beginning to crystallize faster than you expected. So let's put this one away. Let's move on to another one. This one here is more like a shot glass. So you definitely wouldn't want to use this one if you're not using this. Okay. And that's due to the same reasons. No lid, too large of a neck, way too big, causes you to spend way too much money on monomer. Here is a Dappen dish that is really the perfect size. This is almost what I like to call the universal Dappen dish, because you can almost get it anywhere, right? But the thing about this one is it doesn't always come with a lid. And even if you find a lid that goes on top of this, which I've seen, it doesn't close tightly, so you can't travel with it. You have to be stationary with this particular Dappen dish. All right, So then we also have two other Dappen dishes, and I'll get to that. But let's talk about something before I get to those. So you have really a couple types of Dappen dishes. You have your glass, you have your ceramic, and you have your crystal cut Dappen dish. All right, so let's talk about which one is the best one. Well, I've shown you the ones that have no lid. So we know for sure that we do not need to choose a Dappen dish that doesn't have a lid. The next thing is that your glass, even though stable, non-porous, easy to clean, and it kind of keeps your monomer temperature consistent. That is not the perfect one if you're in a particular environment or you don't have a lid. Now, ceramic or porcelain is the number one Dappen dish or acrylic monomer dish for you. Why? Because it keeps the monomer cooler, longer, and it's good for warm climates. And as we know, you cannot control even the salon that is the most coolest can affect your monomer as well. But for people who are in warmer climates, ceramic or porcelain may be even better. The weight of the ceramic makes it even more stable. It's also scratch resistant. So that is a big deal because, of course, if you're scratching your glass, then maybe you're getting pieces of glass in your monomer. Something to think about. Now, crystal, in my opinion, is very attractive and also good for making content online. It has a really beautiful look, and you can find them with lids and also that are very small or small enough to prevent you from spending too much money on monomer. And we both know monomer is very expensive unless you're using the wrong kind. Let's get back on subject. So, another reason for needing to choose the correct or the perfect Dappen dish for your acrylic is because you want to prevent the evaporation, better product control, and fewer fumes. Okay, but before I sum this up and help you decide which Dappen dish is perfect for you, let's talk about this. So here we have the ceramic with a top or a lid, and look how tight that lid is. It will not budge, right? So you can travel with this. This is my go-to. I have more than one and I love it. Not only do I use it for liquids, but I also use it for powders. Here's another one that I purchased, and I like it as well. But sometimes if I'm stationary and I want to just sit at my nail desk at home, not in the shop or not in the classroom, I will use, not in the shop or not traveling, then I'll use this one. Why? Because this one has a lid that sometimes is not stable or will allow the liquid to leak out. So I have to take, different measures to prevent that. So you decide if you are traveling or if you are stationary, which one of these would be best for you. Now, let me finish up by telling you about less evaporation, okay? So monomer evaporates very quickly. I don't know if you know about how alcohol and acetone evaporates, but monomer does the same thing. And when something evaporates, it is exposed to the air in order to allow that to happen. So that's why it is so important to have a Dappen dish with a lid, because once it's exposed to the air, it's going to evaporate. Now, in large or wide dapping dishes, there's more surface area. And with that, it's going to speed your evaporation up greater than what it would with a smaller dapping dish. So keep that in mind, because there's so many dapping dishes out there that are so beautiful, but they're way too big. And they're going to have you spending big bucks, and that's what you don't want. So not only does it make you spend more money and evaporate faster, but it also makes your monomer thicker. It changes the performance of your monomer. And this leads to inconsistent application or inconsistent application. Sorry about that. So when you have inconsistent application, this is where you say, I don't know why this nail came out this thick and that nail came out that thin. I don't know why this nail looks more smooth than this nail. And it's all because you are looking at more than one factor when you are dealing with acrylic and liquid monomer. So you're looking at temperature of the room. You're looking at how big your dapping dish is. You're looking at, are you getting product, powder, into that dapping dish? And you're also looking at if you are using crystal, ceramic, or glass. So make sure you are choosing the dapping dish that is best for you and that will prevent you from spending way too much money. It will help you to have better product control. It also helps you to pour only what you need, and that means that you have more control over how much money you're spending, okay? It keeps your monomer fresh for the next customer, because with monomer, you don't have to switch out monomer every time you get a new customer. But if you are using a large dish, it's going to evaporate and you're going to have no other choice but to add some more. Another thing, and this will be pretty much the last thing, is you will be able to have fewer fumes if you use a smaller dapping dish. It's healthier for you, it's healthier for your client, and that smaller dapping dish will also be easier to clean. So please let me know if you have any questions about dapping dishes, which dapping dish you need to choose, because this could make a difference in how your product is laid, how it is coming out, and those flawless acrylic full sets. And I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you'll know the next time I post another video.